Shalom, Ahab, wa Baraka. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory, face the east, to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles, the prophets, the teachers, to the sincere Akyawa Akwath, and the other affiliate brothers like myself, bringing out this 100% truth. Salutations. Yesterday, Menach's Akbar did a class, and it had to do with, the guy said, I'm mixed. How am I? So he said he was mixed, and now, so he said, pretty much, what am I? If I'm mixed, what am I? And am I going to be able to get in the kingdom? So if you're mixed, then really there's no such thing as mixed. Because if that means we can go all the way back to we can go all the way back to, let's just go back to Moses, because when there was the 12 tribes, there was no 12 tribes of women for them to marry. There were already Israelites. Well, there you have it. That's like, it's already a dead issue. Who did the sons marry when they were the only Israelites at that time? So that kind of ruins the whole being mixed thing right there. It kind of just destroys it if you think about it, because Israel was founded on the men, the seed of the father. So women, it didn't matter which women these men were with. It's really that simple. But let's get some scriptures. First things first, let's go to Romans 9 and 13, and it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And that's what this is all about. That's why people are so concerned about their genealogy. But we're going to get into it. But the Most High, this is what it's all about. See, Most High hates Esau, but he loves Jacob. So everybody's thinking, oh, well, that's the Old Testament, this, that. No, that's not the Old Testament, actually. That's Romans 9 and 13. That's in the New Testament. So-called new. This might be what you guys consider the New Testament, but it's definitely not the New Covenant. Different class, different day. But, Jacob is loved. The Most High loved Jacob, and he hates Esau. So everybody wants to be Jacob now, or wants the Israelites to be extinct. And the Most High changed his mind. All nations are welcome to come into the kingdom. And all of Israel rejected Jesus. All these lies they make up just so you think that, and it's funny because it's all thought. It's all your thoughts. You think you're getting in the kingdom. Good for you. Good for you. Bring that same energy though when that time comes. That's all I have to say about that. So this all starts because the Most High Yahweh hates. That's right. It's a perfect balance. Let's get some scriptures now. Let's go to Numbers chapter 1. Let's go down to verse 2. Take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families, by the house of their fathers, not mothers. So if you can only be through the house of your father, how can you be mixed? We're going to get into that. With the number of their names, every male by their polls. So this right here is beautiful. Right there, what they just said is beautiful, because it says by the seed of their fathers. It never mentions mother anywhere, because there's no such thing as being mixed. Now, you're definitely going to have genes and characteristics of your mother. You're going to some people act like their mom, look like their mom, and those are characteristics, but women don't plant seeds. Now, going back into the thing saying, going into the seed, let's see if I can make it easier for new people to understand like this. You take an apple seed, take 50 apple seeds. Plant one seed in a different country. So now we got 50 different countries, and we got an apple seed in each country. Now I want you guys to tell me, think in your mind, when that plant grows, we got one in China right now. We got a tree sprung out. Is that apple tree going to bring forth oranges because it was grown in China? How about the apple tree in Africa? Is that one going to bring forth grapes because it was grown in Africa? How about the one in Russia? Or is that apple tree going to bring forth oranges? You see what I'm saying? When you plant an apple seed, you're going to get an apple tree no matter where you put it on earth. It's still going to be an apple tree. So me being an Israelite, if I plant my seed, no matter where I plant it, that child will be an Israelite with characteristics of the mother. Very simple stuff. That's simple. That's simple. Let's jump down to verse 18. Stay in Numbers, chapter 1. Let's go to verse 18. And they assembled all congregation together on the first day of the second month and declared their pedigrees after their families and the house of their fathers. And the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names by their polls. Every man from 20 years and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. So the point is this: by the house of your fathers. Again, it's never in this Bible going to say you are through the house of your mother. You know where that comes from? Herod. And you know what Herod did? His wife was an Israelite. You know what he did to her? Killed her. And then he preserved her in honey. He was a necrophiliac. You guys are nasty. Amalek is nasty. So King Herod said that it would be through the mother that would, and that's where you guys get all the confusion, that your nationality would be considered through your mother. That is absolutely wrong. He did that because he wanted to be able to call himself the king of the earth. It all goes into power. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump around some more. Let's go to 1 Chronicles 9:1. And I'm just bringing out scriptures, it's fun. It's fun to bring out scriptures to show everybody what the Bible really says about half-breed. Call me Harry. Yeah, I swear on everything. Say something like that to one of my kids, I'm not even going to say anything to you. I'm just going to come at you swinging. I don't like that kind of stuff. I had to live my whole life. Look at my face. You think they didn't call me half-breed when I was a kid? You don't think they were calling me mixed? Oh, you mixed. What you mixed with? What you mixed with? Oh, man, you must be mixed. That's the most insulting thing I've ever heard. So I'm not from my father anymore? I'm mixed? And my mom, she's so dumb. I'm Irish, French, Dutch, Spanish, German. I'm like, how in the fuck are you all these things? In Cherokee. I'm like, which one is your dad? Oh, did I forget Scottish and Irish? All these fucking things. How can you be that many different people? It's impossible. You're the seed of your father. It goes all the way back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Unless you're from Esau. 2 nations there will be in thy womb, right? Okay, and that's true. In fact, now I remember that. Let me get that. 2 nations shall be in thy womb. What chapter and verse? Why didn't I get that? Oh my gosh, I was right there. All right. Yeah, there it is. I have it right there. I knew I had it in my notes. Let's get it, though. Let's go back to Genesis. Go back to verse 25. Actually, we were in verse 26. Chapter 26. So let's go to chapter 25 and go down to 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? Why am I like, what's going on in here? It's like, man. And she went to inquire of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And 1 people shall be stronger than the other people. And the elder shall serve the younger. You see that? So the reason why I'm bringing that out, I just remembered it, so I had to grab it while I still remembered it. The guy that was in Menachezak Baz, when he was doing the class on, the guy said, he said I'm mixed. He didn't actually say whether it's mom or dad, who was who. He said, I'm mixed. What does that mean for me, pretty much? And he also asked, how is it that these are twin brothers, but they're two nations? Well, now we're going back over here to verse 23. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. That's where we get that from. The Bible. Isn't that amazing? Everything that these guys think we're making up and that we're just talking out the side of our necks, these are the actual scriptures. This is why there's such a big push to stop the Hebrew Israelite movement from happening, because we're the only ones telling the truth. Now, you got a bunch of Hebrew camps that lie, and it makes it easy for these other individuals to come up against them. It's easy for any of us to, because you can tell when they're lying. But the ones that are in the truth, you guys have a major problem coming, because the brothers that are in the truth, you're also slandering us, and you're also pushing people away from the word of Yahweh, which is in the long term, it's going to have you doomed. You're going to get cursed for not helping the children of Israel and putting them in more turmoil, telling them you're not real Israelites. Everybody can be saved. You're not special. There's nothing good about you. Everybody's going into heaven. We're all going to be there. We're all going into the pearly gates. No, that's what this is all about. You are the seed of your father, but only the seed of Israel is going into the kingdom and going to thrive in that kingdom. Everybody else is going to be, like I said, servants, handmaids. Let's prove it. Let's prove it. Everybody else. There is nobody outside of Israel that's not going to be a servant. So let's prove it. Isaiah 14:1. This is a go-to. Everybody goes to this. It says, the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. That simple. But I'm mixed. Well, if your dad's an Israelite, you're not mixed. You're an Israelite. If your mom is an Israelite and your dad's an Edomite, you're not an Israelite, and you will serve captivity. So, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the other people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. So you guys got to understand, there's Israel, and then there's everybody else. Israel shall be saved. The Lord's going to have mercy on Israel and Jacob, okay? That nation of people. Everybody else, Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. We're the captives. And you can't say that so-called blacks and Mexicans aren't captives. If I step out onto the wrong block, I possibly could have ICE decide, you're not American, you're not a citizen, we're going to take you out. And then I'm going to have to fight for months, and then they're going to fucking lose me in the system, and then I'm never heard of again. That's our lifestyle right now. So yeah, we're captives still. We're captives still. You have to stay in our captivity. We shall praise thee and call upon your name, right? So we're still captives right now. And that's what this all comes down to, because these scriptures are very important. In fact, let's jump down to verse 21. Prepare slaughter for the children for the iniquity of their fathers. But I'm mixed. You're not mixed. Your forefathers, you're the seed of your forefathers, no matter how you look at it. That they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the world with cities. So, nah, man, you guys are going to be taken out. You guys are going to be taken all the way out. And that's why you're trying to say, like, everybody's trying to get in one way or another. I'm mixed. What does that mean for me? Nothing. It means that you're not mixed and you're the seed of your father. Let me prove that there is no such thing. And being mixed, that means that you're taking your mother's nationality and including it with the seed of your father. That's not a good thing. Let's go to the book of First Chronicles, chapter 9. And we're going to go to verse, it looks like, is that a 1 or a 7? Yep, it's 1. First Chronicles chapter 9. So all Israel were reckoned by genealogies. Behold, there were written in the book of kings of Israel and Judah, who were carried away to Babylon for their transgressions. So we were carried away to all these different places, scattered to the four corners of the earth for our transgressions. Now, because we've intermingled with these other nations, the other nations think that they're mixed. You're not mixed. You're still the other nations, and we're still Israel. We just have characteristics of the other nations. And if somebody's mixed, that means that Jesse's mixed. That means that Obed's mixed. That means that King David is mixed. All the 12 sons are mixed. You see how that works? It doesn't. That is confusion. Let's jump around some more. Let's jump around. They were reckoned by their genealogies, and we know that endless genealogies are worthless, and we're gonna get that too. In fact, let's go to the book of Matthew. Because I'm going to show you how it's only the seed of the Father. There's no such thing as mixing. We should have did this first. Matthew chapter 1. These are the generations of Yahushua HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac, Isaac begot Jacob, Jacob begot Judas, Judas begot his brethren. So far, no women, no mix. Okay? And Judas begot Pharez and Zora and Thamar, and Pharez begot Esrom, and Esrom begot Aram, and Aram begot Aminadab, and Aminadab begot Nasan, Nasan begot Solomon, Solomon begot Booz and Rechab, and Booz begot Obed of Ruth, Obed of Ruth. So the reason why they're telling you who Obed of Ruth is, there's a book in the Bible called Ruth, and Obed left Egypt during the famine and died. Him, his father, and I think his brother. And so that's who Obed is of Ruth. Ruth, they're just telling you who he is. She is not part of the genealogy, okay? Obed of Ruth. In other words, he was the one that was married to Ruth. And Obed begot Jesse. Oh, wait, Obed, Salakia. Obed of Ruth. So Boaz and Ruth had Obed, and Obed begot Jesse. And so Boaz, sorry about that, Salakia. So let me read it again, 5. Solomon begot Boaz, and of Rechab, and Boaz begot Obed of Ruth. So Boaz is Boaz and Ruth had Obed, is what I was trying to say. I was Salakia for that. I was getting a little ahead of myself. So Boaz and Ruth had Obed. Now that is your mixed right there. And Obed begot Jesse. And Jesse begot David the king. So now we've got a problem here, because if you're saying that everybody's mixed, then how are we the seed of our father? You can't be the seed of your father if you're mixed. And the one thing you're not seeing is, it said that Obed was the one that was the product of Boaz and Ruth. So you know who it's talking about, because that's important, because Obed begot Jesse. And for all of you guys that don't know who Jesse is, oh my gosh. Jesse is the father of King David. So you're saying that Jesse is a half-breed and King David's a half-breed? Now you understand, like, you come over here talking that shit about my kid, I'm going to beat you up. Straight up. So Jesse begot David the king, and David the king begot Solomon of her that had been the wife of Urias. So if you knew the story, you knew that King David saw Bathsheba, and she was taking the bath in the garden, and he had to have her, and he did. And then she got pregnant, and so he sent Uriah to the front line because that child belongs to David now. And so he tried to get Uriah to come and go into his wife so he would think it was his child. And Uriah wouldn't even go home. So when he pulled him out of the field, Uriah went and laid on the doorstep of his house, but he refused to go in because he didn't want to be with his family while his brothers were out fighting a war. So he put Uriah on the front line, and surely he was put to death. Bathsheba had the baby, and the baby died. Okay? Then they had another child, and it was Solomon. And that's why it says of her that had been the wife of Uriah, because that guy had died, but David was messing around with her, and he got punished for it too. But you're still the seed of your father. You're still that seed. So, and Solomon begot Rehoboam. Rehoboam begot Abia, and Abia begot Asa, and Asa begot Josaphat. Josaphat begot Joram, and Joram begot Ozias, and Ozias begot Jonathan, and Jonathan begot Achaz. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. Achaz. I'm sorry. So Jonathan begot Achaz, and Achaz begot Ezekias, and Ezekias begot Manasseh, and Manasseh begot Amon, and Amon begot Josias, and Josias begot Jeconias and his brethren about the time they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begot Salathiel, and I'm sorry about the names. Salathiel begot Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel begot Abin, and Abin begot Eliakim, and Eliakim begot Azar. Azar begot Sadak, and Sadak begot Achiam, and Achiam begot Elud, and Elud begot Eleazar, and Eleazar begot Mathan, and Mathan begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, whom was born Yahushai, who was called Hamashiach, the Messiah, the Savior. So, no women in there. Now, it did mention Ruth, and it did mention the wife of Uriah, but they have nothing to do with the genealogy. It's just telling you exactly who this person is and what time frame it is. Everything on this page, you guys will probably do that. Oh, what about the wife of Uriah? You know what? What about all these men? All these men right here showing you that you are literally the seed of your father. You can't get around this. You can't get around genealogy. And you should know better than to even play with genealogies. That's the weird thing. People like to, well, this, that, and the third. That, this, and the third. So, let's read verse 17. So all the generations of Abraham to David are 14 generations, and from David unto the carrying away unto Babylon are 14 generations, and from the carrying away into Babylon unto Yahushai are 14 generations. But these are generations of men through the seed of thy father. Wow. You know, someone's going to probably comment trying to say something stupid. They always do. It's always a stupid comment. It's never sincere. People have no sincerity left in them, and they refuse to listen. So this book becomes like a real challenge for a lot of people. And this is important too, because like the guy said, he goes, well, I'm mixed. What's going to happen to me? Let me show you something, because there are mixed people in the Bible. Like Jephthah, who was kicked out by his brothers because his brothers didn't want him around because he had a different mother that wasn't an Israelite. Let's keep going, though. Let's keep going. Let's go over to verse 59, book of Ezra, chapter 2. Like I said, verse 59. And these were they which went up from Tamela, and Telharsa, and Cherub, Aden, and Imar, but they could not show their father's house. So they didn't know what their father's house, they couldn't prove who they were, in other words. And their seed, whether they were of Israel. Wait a second, seed. What does the word seed mean? It means sperma, sperm. They are the sperm of their father. Look it up, people. Look it up. So, and people need to know this. Yes, that's right. There were people in Israel that couldn't prove who they were. That's all. Just like when you're telling people that you're mixed, you can't prove who you are. But the truth is the let me just say it like this. Let me say it like this. Because like this says, you can't prove who you are, but you know who you are, right? So let's go to Romans 8:16. The spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. So your spirit's going to bear witness who you really are. If you're an Edomite, believe me, your Edomite traits are going to come out. If you're an Israelite, your Israelite traits are going to come out. If you're a Moabite, Ammonite, Perizzite, Bizite, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're going to know, because the spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit who you are. That's all there is to it. One more verse. This is supposed to be a short class. 1 Timothy 1:4. Neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in faith. Do so. So don't give heed to endless genealogies. That's all bullshit. What you really need to do is, I think that Romans 8:16 says it the best, how the spirit bears witness with our spirit, right? So that's how you're going to tell who you are in these days. The spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we're the children of Yahweh. Now, the thing is that how could you bear witness? You're going to hear this truth and you're going to accept it. You're going to, the video's going to be over and you're going to want more. That's how I was. Even on the worst teachers, I was just like, oh, I got to study this. I got to study that. That's the spirit bearing witness of who I am. Because an Edomite, any other nation, any of these other heathen nations are not concerned with what the scriptures really say. They will take the scriptures and change them to their own advantage. That's why I would tell you, the fear of Yahweh for you guys is taught by the precepts of men. You listen to the liars, and then when we read you the truth and tell you, nah, you're not a half-breed, you're not mixed, you're the seed of your father, you're going to come back with a rebuttal, well, this and that and that and this, but it's never, ever going to be scriptural. And with that being said, if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, I hope you got something out of this short message. Shalom.